Hello everybody, my name's Heidi and welcome. Today we're going to do a really nice feel-good flow. If you are new to yoga, don't be worried, I will talk you through it. However, I always want you to be mindful of what you can do, never push into a point of pain. Always listen to your body, take modifications along the way, and enjoy. Alright, so we're going to start in our child's pose. Child's pose is available to you at any time throughout the class. So coming onto your hands and knees, you're going to take the knees a little wider, bring the big toes together. Start to sink the sit bones down to your heels as you stretch the arms out long in front. If you can, bring the forehead down to the ground. So just taking this moment to come into your practice. Taking this moment to slow down. Taking this moment to switch off from your day. Taking this moment to be present. Taking this moment to check in with the body. Seeing how it's feeling. Acknowledging any tight spots you might have. Trying not to attach to them. Bringing your awareness to your breath. As you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Starting to make the inhales a little bit deeper. The exhales a little bit longer. As you inhale, fill your lungs with air. Feel the ribs expand. And then as you exhale, press all the air out. Inhale. See if you can slightly draw the belly button in. See if you can pause at the top. And then as you exhale, there's a slight closing off at the back of the throat. And as you press the air out, the breath will become audible. See if you can pause at the bottom. More deep breaths here. Good. And then slowly start to lift yourself up as you come back through your tabletop position, bringing your knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. We're going to come into a couple of cat-cows here. So as you inhale, you're going to draw the belly button towards the spine, but then lower the belly button towards the ground. Gaze forward. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, press the floor away. Inhale, keep that connection as you lower the belly button. Gaze forward. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, press the floor away. Good. 2 more times here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, we're going to turn the fingers so they face towards you. Now you might want to creep yourself forward a little bit here. Okay, so as the fingers come towards you, the thumbs are pointing to the outsides of your mat, and then you're going to start to sink back here. Now the inner part of that elbow is facing forward. You're just getting a nice deep forearm stretch here. Just breathe through it. Through your center, turn the fingers so that they face forward, walk yourself back a little bit again, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, press back into your downward facing dog, release the head in between the arms, lift up out of the shoulders, lift the sit bones high to the sky, keeping a softening in the knees and a lift in the heels for this first one. And then start to walk the dog out, bending one knee and then the other as you draw the opposite heel down. Remember that little bit of movement. Coming back through your center. Start to walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Keep the feet hip width apart, heels directly behind the balls of the feet. Keep the belly button drawing in as you fold the torso over the thighs. You could stay here or take the hands up and over behind your head. Interlace your fingers. Draw the belly button in as you exhale, fold forward. Release the head, no tension in the neck, no tension in the jaw. Feel the weight in the balls of the feet as the hands come up and over behind the head. Good. Release the hands and then start to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Keeping the belly button drawing in. Lifting the head at the top, dropping the shoulders back and down. Ready to come into our sun salutations. So this is a really good way of warming up the body, getting it moving, so then we can come into some deeper stretching. So top of the mat, big toes are together, slight gap in the heels, ground down through your feet. As you lift the kneecaps up, switch the quad muscles on, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, so you're creating a nice and neutral pelvis. Draw the belly button in, lift up from the pelvic floor, spread the collarbones to activate the arms, summer city here. It's just like standing at attention. As you inhale, reach for the sky, gaze to the backs of the thumbs. As you exhale, fold forward from your hips, release the hands to the ground, release the head. On your inhale, look up, halfway. On your exhale, step or jump back to your high plank, top of a push-up. Shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists. Drop down to your knees for a modified version. As you draw the belly button in, gaze forward. Keep the elbows nice and close as you start to bend and lower yourself down. Point your toes, inhale, lift up. Nice gentle cobra, drawing the shoulder blades back and down the body. As you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, draw the belly button in towards the spine. Lift the sit bones high to the sky. Release the head in between the arms. You can always keep a softening in the knees and a lift in the heels, or if it's there for you, start to straighten the legs. Start to spiral the inner thigh towards the back of the room. Start to broaden through the sit bones as you reach the heels down towards the mat. Good. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, halfway. On the exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, eyes lead the way, body follows, arms sweep up, palms touch. On the exhale, fold forward, release the head and hands at the bottom. On the inhale, look up, halfway. On the exhale, step or jump back, high plank, lock it all on. You might drop to your knees if you need to, or maintain your plank as you start to shift the weight forward. Bend the elbows, lower yourself down. Roll over your toes, inhale, lift up cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose. Lift those sit bones high to the sky, melt the heart towards the thighs. Feel as if you're wrapping the shoulder blades around the sides of the body. As you broaden here, and then if it's there for you, reach the heels down. Feel as if you're spiraling your inner thigh towards the back of the room as you broaden through your sit bones. No tension in the neck, no tension in the jaw. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, eyes lead the way, body follows, arms sweep up, palms touch. On the exhale, fold forward, release the head and hands. On the inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, step or jump back, high plank. Lock it all on as you lower yourself down. As you inhale, roll over your toes, lift up. As you exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Lift the sit bones high to the sky. Wrap the shoulder blades around the sides of the body. Spiral roll the inner thigh towards the back of the room. Nice and long in the spine. Good. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, eyes lead the way, body follows, arms sweep up, palms touch. On the exhale, fold forward. From the hips, release the head and hands. On the inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, step or jump back, high plank. Drop to your knees as you need, low plank. Inhale, roll over your toes, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. On the exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Shift the weight forward and then step the foot in between the hands. If you can't get it there, use the hand to assist. Ground down through your back foot at a 45-degree angle. As you inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one. Sink down into your lunge, square the shoulders to the front of the room, the hips will follow. On the exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, high plank, low plank. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward dog. On the inhale, lift the left leg. On the exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Shift the weight forward. Step the foot in between the hands. Use your hand if you need. Ground down through your back foot. As you inhale, warrior one, sink down, square the shoulders. Feel as if you're spiraling that right inner thigh towards the ceiling. On the exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. A few deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Checking in with the body, lifting up out of the shoulders, lifting the sit bones high to the sky, releasing the head. Good. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, pause here. So keeping a slight bend in the knees, lengthening the tailbone to the ground, lifting up from the pelvic floor. On the exhale, fold forward, release the head and hands. On the inhale, look up, halfway. On the exhale, step or jump back, high plank, low plank, drop to your knees as you need. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. On the exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Shift the weight forward. Step the foot in between the hands. Ground down through that back foot. As you inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one. As you exhale, warrior two. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Hug the muscles onto the bones. On the exhale, release the hands to the mat. Step back, high plank, low plank. Inhale, roll over the toes and lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Step the foot forward. Ground down through your back foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Sink down, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Step back, high plank, low plank. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. Take child's pose if you prefer. Do what feels right for you within your practice, within this moment. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, pause at the top, and then exhale through your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, high plank. Lock it on as you lower down. Inhale, roll over the toes, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. On your inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Now I want you to keep pressing the hands into the mat as you press that floor away. As you exhale, draw that knee to your chest again, step the foot forward, ground out through your back foot. Inhale through your warrior one. Exhale through your warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, flip the palm, reverse here. And then exhale, come into your triangle pose. As you place your right hand towards that right leg, okay, draw that left shoulder back, gaze to the back of that thumb, work through the legs here as you spiral that right inner thigh to the ceiling, lift the left quad muscle up, lengthen the tailbone towards that back foot. On your inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. We're going to pivot to the ball of that back foot, and I want you to step it slightly forward. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward over that front leg, release the hands to the back. Soften through the front leg or lift the back heel up. Inhale here, and then exhale, fold forward. Keeping the hips nice and square here. Fold over that front leg, drawing the nose towards the knee. Good. Inhale, look up, halfway. We're going to soften through the front leg. We're going to walk the hands forward. We're going to start to lift the back leg up. So we're coming through a modified warrior three here. Now you can stay here as you engage that standing leg, engage the core muscles. Or you could bring your hands to your heart center and hold here. Find that focus point down on the ground. Keep the hips square, keep flexing the left toes so they're pointing down towards the mat. Good. Release the hands to the ground, step it back, and then pivot to the outer edge of your mat. Turn your toes out and start to sink down into a side lunge here. So you're working on keeping that left heel down. You can lift your right toes up. You can slide that heel towards the front of your mat. You could keep your hands at heart center. If you have bad knees, you could be up here, or you could open through your heart. Opening through your wings as you stretch the arms nice and long. Good. From here, we're going to lift back up. Come in through a wide stance here as you bring the feet to parallel or toes turn in slightly. Inhale for length, exhale to fold. As you draw the belly button in, release the crown of the head towards the ground. Bring the hands back in between the feet if it's there for you. Keep grounding down through the hands. Feel the weight in the balls of the feet. Lift the kneecaps up, switch the quad muscles on. Release the head in between the arms. Good. Inhale, look up halfway. From here, we're going to walk back to the front of the mat. You're going to lunge through that front leg, lift the back heel up, and from here, we'll step back. Right foot back to meet the left, come through your downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward as you come through your high plank. Low plank, drop into your knees as you need. Inhale, lift up, hover or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So as you inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, draw that knee to your chest, step the foot forward, ground down through your back foot. Inhale through your warrior one. Exhale through your warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reverse your triangle, and then exhale, come through your triangle. Placing that left hand down softly, draw the right shoulder back, gaze to the back of the thumb, work through the legs here. As you spiral that left inner thigh to the ceiling, lift the right quad muscle up, lengthen the tailbone towards that back foot. One more deep breath here, and then inhale, come back up. From here, we're going to pivot, step the foot forward a little bit as we come through our pyramid pose. So fold forward over that straight front leg, bring the hands down to the ground, soften through the front leg if you need, or lift the back heel up. Inhale here, Exhale, fold. Keep the hips square. Keep plugging that left thigh bone back into the socket. Keep drawing the belly button in, creating space. Good. Inhale, look up, halfway. Soften through the front leg, lift the back heel up. Walk the hands forward. Start to lift the back leg up. Keep the hips square, keep the core engaged. Engage the standing leg. Stay here. Or hands to heart center. Find that focus point. Breathe nice and deep. Hold steady. Don't worry if you rock or sway. Just work your way back into it. Good. We're going to soften through the front leg. Step back. Come through that little side lunge. As you pivot, lift up the left toes. Keep the right heel down. Stay up high if you need, or hands to heart center, or open through the heart. Good. Come back through a wide leg position. Feet parallel or toes turn in slightly. You're going to bring the hands up and over behind your head. Inhale here, exhale, fold. Draw the belly button in, work through the legs, and then let gravity do the work as the hands come up and over behind your head. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, look up, release the hands. We're going to pivot back to the front of the mat, come through that lunge, lift that back heel up, round down through the hands, step back through your downward facing dog, shift the weight forward, high plank, low plank, inhale, roll over your toes, lift up, exhale, downward facing dog. Good, a few deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose, slow the breath back down again, as you slow the heart rate. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Now from here, I want you to open through the hips. You can bend that knee as you drop the foot back behind you, but keep pressing both hands into the mat as you press the floor away. If you can, bring that left heel down to the mat. And then from here, lift the leg back up. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest, step the foot forward, ground down through your back foot. Inhale through your warrior one. Exhale through your warrior two as you come through your side angle. So you're going to either drop the elbow to the thigh, extend the left arm up and over. If it's there for you, you'll place the right hand to the outside of that foot. As you sink down into your lunge, press the back foot into the mat, pinky side connected. Get nice and long through the side body, nice and open through your heart. Good. From here, I want you to inhale, come back up through your warrior two. You could stay here in your warrior two, or you're going to come through your half moon. As you reach your right fingertips forward, okay, you're going to start to drag the back leg up. Find that focus point. Again, open through the hips as you open through the heart. Engage the standing leg. Engage the core muscles. So lifting up from the pelvic floor. Good. From here, we're going to step it back down through our warrior two. We're going to pivot to the ball of the back foot, hands to heart center. Inhale here, lift. Exhale, twist. As you hook that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest up, draw the thumbs back towards the sternum. Hold it here for a few deep breaths. Work the back leg. If you're not feeling very balanced, lower the back knee to the mat. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms back up through your warrior two. From here, release the hands to the ground. Step it back. High plank, low plank. Inhale, roll over the toes, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ready to do the other side. As you inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. From here, open through the hips. Keep pressing both hands into the mat. Release the foot back behind you if it's there for you. Keep lifting that knee up. See if you can reach the heel, right heel down to the mat. Good. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest. Step the foot forward. Ground down through your back foot. Inhale through your warrior one. Exhale through your warrior two. Release to side angle. Drop the elbow to the thigh or the outside of the foot as you extend that right arm up and over. Sink down into that lunge. Work the back leg. Press the pinky side of the foot into the mat. Open through the heart and lengthen through the side body. Good. Inhale, come back up through your warrior two. Stay here if you'd like, or come through your half moon as you reach those fingertips forward. Start to drag the back leg up. You could always use a block for a little bit of height. Open through the heart, find that focus point. Engage your core muscles, engage the standing leg. Lift up that left quad muscle. Good. From here, step it back down through your warrior two. Pivot to the ball of the back foot. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Hook that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lift the chest up. Draw the thumbs towards the sternum. Drop the back knee if you're not feeling very balanced. Wrap the left ribs around towards the sky. Good. Release the hands to the mat. Step the left foot back. High plank. Low plank. Inhale, roll over the toes and lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Press the hands into the mat, press the floor away. Take child's pose if you prefer. Good. From here, inhale, lift the right leg high to the sky again. Drop that foot back behind you. From here, you're going to shift your weight forward. So you're bringing your shoulder on top of the wrist. And then if it's there for you, you're going to flip into your upside down dog. Release the hand or stretch the hand up and over. Press the hips over, up. Good. And then from here, come through your side plank. Engage the core muscles. Keep reaching the right hand high. Keep lifting up out of that left shoulder. From here, draw your knee into your chest. Step the foot forward again. Good. Use the hand if you need to. This time you're going to drop the back knee, drop the back foot. We're going to wiggle the right foot over to the outer edge of your mat, turning your toes out. Keeping your knee stacked on top of your ankle. Stay here if you'd like. Maybe create a little bit of movement. Going round in circles as you open up through the hip. And then if it's there for you, lower onto the forearms. Find the focus point just in between the hands. Slow down. Good. Slowly start to come back up. Start to wiggle the foot back towards the center of your mat. Start to shift the weight back, lift the toes up, slide the heel forward a couple of inches, plug the right thigh bone back into the socket, draw the belly button to the spine, exhale, fall forward, over that front leg. Maybe walk the hands forward if it's there for you. Of course, if you're really tight, you're staying up higher. Bring the hands back, slide the heel back as you ground down through that front foot, and then from here we're going to walk that right foot over towards the left side of the mat as you come through your half pigeon. If half pigeon isn't there for you, you feel pain here, I want you to Lower down on your back and thread the needle. If half pigeon is there, you want to work the knee down to the mat. If the knee doesn't come down with ease, try bringing the foot closer to your left hip. Inhale here, square through the hip, so you're working on dropping that left hip. Right knee is pointing out, and then if it's there for you, lower down onto your forearms or your forehead. Slowly start to come back up. I want you to sink down onto that right sit bone. Swing the left leg around in front. You're going to hook that ankle over onto your knee. Inhale here, exhale, twist. As you wrap the right arm across the left thigh, draw that left shoulder back. Use the arm on the leg as leverage. Keep grounding down through both sit bones. Keep lifting up nice and tall through the spine, and then as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Good. Come back through your center. Unhook the leg, but come into a cross leg position where the left leg is in front of the right. Your hips or your sit bones are grounding, your ankles are underneath your knees. Flex the toes, inhale here, and then if it's there for you, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slowly come back up. From here, just bring the heels towards you. Roll onto the hands, step or jump back into your high plank. Low plank. Inhale, roll over the toes, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. We're going to change sides. So we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. We're going to open through the hips. Keep pressing both hands into the mat as you press the floor away. Then bend that knee as you bring the foot over behind you. We're going to shift the weight forward. So you're stacking that right shoulder on top of wrists, and then you can flip your dog if it's there for you. As you reach the left hand up and over, press the hips towards the sky. Lift up out of that right shoulder. Good. And then come through your side plank. As you lift the left leg, stack it on top of the right. You can always drop down to that knee if you need to. And then we're going to draw the knee into you and then step it forward. Pivot to the ball of the back foot. Work the left foot over to the outer edge of the mat, pointing the toes out. Drop the back knee, release the back foot. Just take a moment here as you come into the pose, maybe rolling around in some circles, keeping that knee stuck on that ankle. Stay here, or if it's there for you, lower the forearms down. Find your focus point just in between your hands, so your head is on a nice long column neck. Slowly start to come back up. Start to wiggle the foot back towards the center of the mat. Start to shift the weight back. Slide the heel forward a couple of inches. This can be quite an intense hamstring stretch, so work with your body. Plug the left thigh bone in, square through the hips. Stay here if you need, or start to fold forward over that front leg. Find length in the spine as you fold from the hips. Plug the left thigh bone in, send the right hip forward. Find the gaze just to the center of that front leg. Good. Inhale, look up. Bring the hands back. Slide the heel back. Ground down through the front foot. Start to come into your half pigeon. If it's not there for you, roll over onto your back. Thread the needle. Lower the left knee down to the ground. Bring the foot back towards the hip if you need to. Square off through the hips, so dropping that right hip. Stay here if you need, or come down onto the forearms or the forehead. Really slowing down the breath, allowing yourself to be in the pose. Try not to attach to the sensation. If there is pain, you have gone too far and you need to come out. Slowly start to lift yourself back up again. Ground down through that left sit bone. Swing that right leg around in front. Hook it onto the ankle, to the knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist as you wrap that left arm across the right thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Feel that length in the spine as the crown of the head reaches to the sky. And then feel the twist coming from the rib cage. Good. Come back through your center. Unhook the leg. Come into that cross leg position. Right shin is in front of left. Flex the toes. Inhale here. Exhale, fold if it's there for you. Good. Slowly start to come back up. Draw the heels to you as you roll over onto the hands. Step or jump back into your high plank, low plank. Inhale, roll over your toes, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths here. Take child's pose if you prefer. Get nice and long in the spine. Release the head. Lift up out of the shoulders. From here, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump into a seated position. Bring your legs out long in front of you. As you inhale, lift from the heart. As you exhale, fold from the hips, reach forward. If you can, pistol grip your big toes. If you can't, take hold of the ankles or the calves. Fold forward from the hips. So finding length in the spine. Try not to round to get you there. That actually makes it a whole lot harder. Find length and then exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Release the hands. Bring the hands back behind you so your fingers are facing forward and they're about a foot behind. We're going to pop the chest up. You can always ground your feet as you bend your knees. This is your modified version. Or you'll have your legs out long. Either way, you're going to pop the chest and then pop the hips up. Gaze to the ceiling. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. As you bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the side. Grab hold of the feet as you inhale, lift, and then as you exhale, start to pull the sternum towards your feet. As you press the knees down towards the mat. Again, find length in your spine. So try not to round through the spine to get you here. still grip your big toes. Start to shift the weight back as you lift the heels up. Stay here. Or if it's there for you, start to lift the legs. You can keep the knees bent or work them straight. Find the gaze towards the ceiling. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees a little. Bring the feet together. Release the hands. Now we're coming into our boat pose. Modified version is to keep your knees bent. Even easier is to bring the big toes down. If it's there for you, you'll keep the legs straight. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Stretch yourself out nice and long. Breathe nice and deep. Soften through the belly. Good. And then engaging your core muscles. Lift yourself back up into a seated position. Taking the legs wide now. So we'll bring ourselves into a wide leg forward fold. So we want to be on the fronts of our sit bones. So kind of wiggle yourself around. Point your toes up towards the ceiling. So you get an external rotation here in the hips. We're going to inhale. If it's there for you, you'll fold forward. Now, you can always bring your hands down to support you. You could bring the forearms down. If it's there for you, you grab hold of the outer edges of the feet, bringing the forehead or the chin or the sternum down towards the mat. Slowly start to lift back up. Take the hands underneath the knees. You can just scoop them back together. We're going to cross our ankles, roll over onto our hands, step or jump back into our high plank. And this time we're going to come all the way down onto our bellies. We're going to bring our hands beside our lower ribs. We're going to point our toes as we inhale. We lift the chest and the feet up off the ground. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Bringing the favorite cheek to the mat. Release the hands back beside you, so palms are facing up. On your inhale, lift up again. Lift the chest and lift the legs. Draw the shoulders back and down. Hold it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite cheek to the mat. Relax for a moment. Now you could take option 1 or option 2 again, or I want you to see if you can reach back and grab hold of your ankles. Now as you grab hold of your ankles, I want you to press the tops of the thighs into the mat. As you flex the toes, work on lifting the chest up. Hold it here, or if it's there for you, start to lift the legs up off the mat as you kick into it, lifting the chest a little higher. And then lower down. Release the hands, release as you press back into your child's pose. Just take a moment here in child's pose as you stretch out through the spine. Start to lift yourself back up again. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up to the sky. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump into a seated position and lie down on your backs. As you lie down on your back, bring your heels towards your sit bones. Lengthen the tailbone. Bring the hands beside you and kind of come into one bridge here. As you inhale, lift the hips up, walk onto the shoulders like they're little feet. You can either grab hold of the outer edges of the mat or interlace your fingers underneath you. As you press the sternum towards the back of the room, press up out of the legs, lift the hips to the sky. Good, and then lower yourself all the way down. Good. From here, we're going to come into our shoulder stand. So I want you to draw your knees in towards your chest. Give your body a little squeeze here. And then lifting the feet up to the sky. You can stay here for a nice gentle inversion by tucking the thumbs underneath the buttocks. It will just give you a little bit more support. Or with a little bit of a rock and using those core muscles, you're going to lift the legs up and over behind you. Walk onto the shoulders like the little feet. As you bring the hands to the back for support, engage your core muscles as you lift the legs up to the sky, working on creating a nice straight, strong line where the whole body is stacked on top of itself, where the weight is coming into the upper arm and out of the neck. Keeping the head very still in this position. If you'd like, you could close down your eyes. If it's there for you, come through your plow pose where the feet come up and over behind the head, maybe to touch down on the other side. If they are touching down, you could release the hands, grab hold of the outer edge of the mat, or again interlace your fingers. And then slowly, with control, use your core muscles to roll out vertebrae by vertebrae. And then start to lower the legs down to the mat. Bending the knees as you need to, so you're not feeling any pressure or pain in the lower back. Good. We'll do one more pose before we come into Shavasana. So we're going to tuck our thumbs underneath our buttocks. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades and elbows towards each other. And then I want you to pop the chest up and then bring the crown of the head back down to the ground. Hold it here. This is fish pose. And it's a really good counter pose for that shoulder stand, as it really opens up the heart, opens up the throat. Good, and then lower yourself all the way down, setting yourself up for Shavasana. So finding somewhere that you can be still, that you can close down your eyes, relax your forehead, relax your jaw. Feel the eyes as they sink into their sockets. Feel the tongue as it softens in the mouth. Relax the shoulders as the hands splay out to the side, palms face up. Feel the shoulder blades as they connect to the mat. Feel the natural rise and fall in your chest as the breath softens and comes back to its natural rhythm. Relax the glutes. Letting the feet drop. Scanning the body for any tension. And then on your exhale, letting go. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And then a long exhale through the mouth. Do that one more time. deeper into your mat. As your body absorbs everything, adjusting. Finding stillness in the body, stillness in the mind. Letting go of any thoughts. And then drift on by. As if you're watching the clouds float by. Stay here as long as you can in your Shavasana. I just want to thank you for practicing with me today.